There's a specific kind of power that transforms you from someone who is overlooked into someone who commands the room without saying a word. Most people walk through life believing that the world operates on a set of fair, predictable rules they were taught in school and by their parents. They follow those rules diligently and then spend decades confused, wondering why the results never match the effort. They feel like they're running on a treadmill, exhausting effort, zero progress. But what if the rules you were given were never designed for you to win? What if they were designed to keep you predictable, manageable, and exactly where you are? Over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 7 mental resets. These aren't tips or hacks. They are permanent lenses. Once you see the world through them, you cannot unsee it. You will start noticing the invisible strings that pull people. You will become immune to the subtle manipulations that trap everyone else. Before we begin, a fair warning. This isn't a pep talk. This is a transmission. If you prefer the comfort of believing that everyone has good intentions and that hard work is always rewarded, hit pause now. But if you're ready to see the machinery behind the curtain, stay with me. The first reset: language is a currency, not a contract. We are taught to take words at face value. A promise is a promise. An excuse is a reason. A profession of loyalty is the truth. This is the first and most expensive mistake people make. Words are incredibly cheap to produce. They cost nothing. They are the primary tool people use to manage your perception of them in the moment. When someone tells you what you want to hear, they aren't necessarily lying. They are simply solving the immediate social equation. They are using verbal currency to buy your current cooperation, trust, or silence. Think about the last time someone gave you their absolute word on something: a deadline, a change in behavior, a favor, and then it simply didn't happen. Were they evil? Probably not. But their words were merely a reflection of a temporary emotional state or a tactic to navigate a conversation. Centuries ago, a sharp observer of power noted that men are so simple and so focused on their immediate needs that a deceiver will always find someone who wants to be deceived. People want to believe in the promise because it's easier than questioning the intent. Your boss says, "Crush this quarter," and you're on the fast track. You work 80-hour weeks. When the reviews come, the promotion goes to the person who played golf with the boss every Saturday. The words were just fuel to get the work out of you. Stop auditing people's speeches and start auditing their patterns. Look at their historical behavior, not their future promises. When you stop being impressed by vocabulary and start analyzing trajectory, you become invisible to manipulators. Their favorite tool, cheap language, no longer works on you. Stop listening to the music of their words and start watching the dance of their feet. The second reset: every compass points north. This one stings. Every single person in every single interaction is navigating by their own true north, self-interest. This doesn't mean everyone is cruel or incapable of kindness. It means that even kindness is a transaction. It provides the giver with a feeling of moral superiority, social credit, or relief from guilt. This is the operating system of the human animal. We are wired for survival, and survival requires prioritizing your own needs. The mother who sacrifices for her child is serving her genetic imperative. Her self-interest is encoded in her DNA. The philanthropist donates millions and gets a building named after them and a tax write-off. When I first accepted this, I felt cynical. I felt like I was betraying some code of nobility. But accepting it isn't cynicism, it's clarity. It's realizing that expecting someone to act against their own interest is the true naivety. When you understand that everyone is playing for themselves, you stop taking things personally. When a business partner leaves you for a better deal, it's not a betrayal. It's them choosing their survival over yours. The ancient strategist observed that men do good only when driven by necessity. Remove the necessity, remove the social gaze, the legal consequences, and watch what people do. That is their true self. When you embrace this, you stop apologizing for your own ambition. You build relationships not on hollow promises of loyalty, but on a clear, honest exchange of value. You know the deal, and so do they. This creates a foundation that is actually stronger than one built on fantasy. The third reset: the universe is not a meritocracy. This is the fairy tale that keeps the hopeful trapped. The idea that if you just put your head down and work, the world will recognize you and elevate you. It is a beautiful lie, designed to keep the workforce docile and productive. The world doesn't reward effort, it rewards leverage. It rewards scarcity. It rewards being in the right room at the right time. It rewards perception. Think of the artist who paints masterpieces in their basement unseen, while a mediocre artist with brilliant marketing sells canvases for millions to celebrities. Is that fair? No. Is that real? Absolutely. Fairness is a game they play to keep you in your seat while they move the chairs on the stage. The person who gets promoted isn't always the most competent. It's the person the boss trusts, the person who plays the internal game well, the person who has influence. The ancient wisdom is clear. The way we live is so different from the way we ought to live that anyone who studies the ideal and ignores the real is walking towards their own destruction. When you accept that the system is rigged, you stop being a victim of it. You stop waiting for your gold star. You start building your own leverage. You focus on visibility, on relationships, on the levers that actually move the world instead of just grinding the gears. The fourth reset: the rules of the road don't apply to the driver. Most people think the world is unfair in a flat way, that it treats everyone badly, just in different amounts. That's not accurate. The truth is, there are two separate games being played. There is the game for the passengers and the game for the drivers. Passengers have to follow the traffic laws. They have to stay in their lane, signal, pay the tolls, and wait their turn. If a passenger runs a red light, they get a ticket, or worse. But the drivers, the ones with real power, they own the road. They change the lanes whenever they want. They have teams of lawyers who are experts at making red lights look green. A mid-level employee shows up 10 minutes late 3 times and gets a formal warning. A CEO runs a company into the ground with disastrous decisions, eliminating thousands of jobs, and walks away with a 9-figure severance package. Did the same rules apply? No. Rules are tools. They are used by the powerful to manage and control the powerless. The powerful leader knows that keeping a promise is only useful as long as it serves them. When the promise becomes a liability, they are freed from it, not by morality, but by their ability to withstand the consequences. Stop believing that following every rule makes you a good person. It often just makes you a manageable one. Your job is to understand the game you are in and decide which rules are real fences and which are just painted lines on the floor. The fifth reset: the dagger is often wrapped in a smile. You've accepted the world is unfair and the rules are rigged, but you still trust the people at your table. This is where the real danger lives. Your biggest threats are not strangers who openly oppose you. You can see them coming. Your biggest threats are the people who laugh at your jokes, who tell you they have your back. Because betrayal is a transaction that requires trust. You cannot be betrayed by an enemy. Only a friend can betray you. Those who wish to surpass you, to take what you have, or to eliminate you as competition will often get closest to you. They do this to study your weaknesses, to map your insecurities, to find the pressure points. They are gathering intelligence. They wait patiently until the moment is right, and then they apply pressure to that exact point. The observer of power noted that men are so simple-minded that they focus on the appearance of the deceiver rather than looking for the deception. We want to believe the smile is genuine. From this moment on, stop trusting proximity. Start trusting consistency. Watch how people react to your success. Do they celebrate it, or do they minimize it? Do they support you when you're up, or do they only appear when you're down, offering help that feels like surveillance? Remember, the depth of the wound is directly proportional to the closeness of the hand that holds the knife. The sixth reset: the world sensed blood in the water. We are told that vulnerability is strength, that sharing your fears and failures makes you authentic and connects you to others. In a safe, controlled environment, this can be true. But the world is not a safe, controlled environment. It is an ocean, and the water is full of sharks. Sharks are not evil. They are just sharks, and they are exquisitely tuned to detect weakness. When you publicly display your insecurity, your financial struggle, your emotional turmoil, you are not building a bridge. You are chumming the water. You are painting a target on yourself that says, "Here. Here is where I am weak. Here is where you can push." The old wisdom advises that it is far safer to be feared than to be loved, if you cannot have both. Fear is a function of respect for strength. People are cautious around someone who is capable, composed, and has clear boundaries. Weakness, on the other hand, invites predation. It invites disrespect. It invites exploitation. I learned this the hard way. Early on, I confided a deep professional insecurity to a colleague I considered a friend. I thought I was being open and building trust. Months later, in a room full of decision makers, he paraphrased my insecurity back to me as a reason I wasn't ready for a promotion. He didn't even realize he was being cruel. He was just being a shark, and I had provided the scent. Stop airing your dirty laundry in public. Solve your problems in private. Project capability. Project composure. In a world of predators, the greatest defense is to not look like prey. The seventh reset: you are on the board, whether you move or not. This is the final and most important realization. Many people, after hearing all this, will say, "Fine, I reject this game. I refuse to play. I will just be a good, honest person and hope for the best." This is the ultimate delusion. By refusing to play, you have not left the game. You have merely forfeited your turn. The game is being played on you. While you are hoping for the best, others are building alliances. Others are acquiring skills. Others are positioning themselves for opportunities. Others are creating narratives. They are moving their pieces on the board. Your square is not neutral territory. It is a square they intend to occupy or control. The ancient strategist said you must be both a lion and a fox. The lion to frighten the wolves, and the fox to recognize the traps. If you refuse to be either, you are just the sheep. And the sheep is not opting out of the food chain, it is participating in it as the meal. Stop pretending you are above strategy. Stop calling it manipulation when you are simply being intentional about your future. You are in a competition for resources, for relevance, for a life well lived. Accept it. Acknowledge the board. See the other players, and start making moves that serve your survival and your vision. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. In these minutes, your operating system has been updated. You now see the architecture that most people never even notice. You see that words are tactics, that everyone acts for themselves, that fairness is a myth, that rules are flexible, that friends can be foes, that weakness invites attack, and that you are a player whether you like it or not. This knowledge will change you. It may make you feel isolated because you will see people playing a game they don't even know exists. They will call you paranoid, or dark, or cynical. You are not cynical. You are awake. Being dangerous in this context doesn't mean you are a threat to others. It means you are no longer an easy target. It means no one can fool you with sweet words. No one can manipulate you with false promises. It means you have reclaimed your agency. If this reset landed with you, and you're ready to stop being a passenger and start navigating, hit that like button to help others on Winds of Thought find their way to this perspective. Now, look at your own life through these 7 lenses. Who in your circle benefits from your blind spots? What game have you been refusing to see? Answer these questions honestly, and you will understand exactly why your life is where it is. If you've made it this far, you've completed the transmission. You now see. Drop a comment below with the words, "The mask is off." Let's see who is truly ready to step into their power. The world doesn't need more people who are simply good. The world needs people who see the truth, understand the game, and have the courage to play it with integrity and strength. Welcome to reality. It's a lonely peak, but the view is worth it.